So let's get back to it. Just trying to flip the camera. Here we go. Back to work we go. Let's get it. All right. Let's see how to make it happen. Come here, Pop. Come. Here. Right here, Pop. You can lay down right there. Yeah, I went and got my dog because, I already promised you guys 5 minutes. No. No. The heater's over there, Papa. Nope. Stay over there. So I got my headlamp. I got the right tools. I'm actually going to put my other propane tank next to the furnace. Not the furnace. What do you call this? The propane burner. Move. And then one of my neighbors actually got some Christmas cookies for my kid. So we're going to try some of those. And then I went and got my Milwaukee headlamp. All right, so let's go strap up. Welcome back. Jake, move. And then I'm going to put a smaller battery on the drill. I brought a 2 amp instead of this big beefy 6 amp. And then I had to crack the door open because it was like, smells like nothing but propane in here. So, I should have refilled my cup of coffee. I should have took you guys like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. All right, all good though. All good. So I got some mini shortbread Christmas cookies. We're gonna try these. My kid got enough snacks. He ain't gonna miss these. He don't know what hit him. But if these are like really good, then he ain't getting them. Can I get an amen? All right, cool. Mini Christmas cookies. But yeah, how's everybody's day going? Welcome back to part 2. Welcome back to part 2. Let me just adjust the chat really quick. I don't know why it's not letting me adjust the chat. Oh, here we go. All messages. Cool. So welcome back to the live stream. And I know I had a bottle of water in here somewhere. Oh, I see. Shortbread cookies, not too shabby. All right, so got the motors, gearboxes. I'll put those there for now. Now, in the last live stream, excuse me, there was a screw that wouldn't come out of here. So I actually have the bits to back out the screw, but I'm gonna see and try the medium bit. All right, this is what it looks like. What you do is you drill it first, then you use this side to back it out. So you drill it first, then you use this side to back it out. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. And for this, you're gonna need an actual drill with a chuck. Oh, it came out. All right. And it looks like there's actually another screw right here that I missed. It's a Phillips head bit. Part of the reason why I went inside was to get my headlamp as well. And there is some debris in that hole. And it feels like I'm missing something. I don't know if that's supposed to be a screw or not. Let me move my tools over here. But yeah, how's everybody's day going? Let's see. What else could there possibly be hardware? Let me see. Let me get my safety goggles. 1 second, everybody. Whoa. Nope. Go over there. Move. My dog is old and senile. He'll be 16 next month. All right. So we got our safety goggles on. No safety squints for brake cleaner. Use a rag to soak that up. Yes, indeed. All right. So that is refusing to come out. So we're gonna there we go. We got the screw extractor. And I discussed in another video, in the earlier video, I have some magnets, neodymium magnets, which are they're super strong. And you could get these out of computers, like the old school ones. Just stick that magnet down in there, see if I can get that out. Jay, go, move. Dog trying to be all up in the mix. He's gonna get burned by the heater. All right, now we are good to go. Safety glasses off. I actually got to find one of my wire brushes so I could clean those screws if they could be salvaged. Yeah, here we go. Brake cleaner right here. Yeah, I'm not sure if they could be. Gotta get cleaned off, but here we go. There's actually quite a few screws in here. Just check the comments. Nothing yet. That's all good. All right, let's go ahead, work on it. So, in case you guys missed it in the last video, we also discussed the reinforcements that I put in here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna clean those out and put those. You know, I'll wait till last. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I know. So, the reinforcements that I installed a while ago. This was like last year for a trailer hitch. So now we got to uninstall the wheels so we could take the motors and the gearboxes out. Let's go ahead and get that done. Anything that we're not using right this moment, we're taking off the table. Which include that drill. Now, I don't really remember what size nuts those were to take off the wheels. Bear with me 1 second while I move you guys over here, back over here. I got you guys on my portable charger. My workspace is a mess. Hang on 1 second, let me flip you guys around. All right, cool. You guys can see that. Cool. So we're going to take out that bolt right there. The nut. Look at that. First one, 11/16. And let's try to find another one, which I got one right there. And the crevice. And the reason for that is I'm going to try to pull them both out at the same time. I have reason to believe that this axle is split somehow or something. So make sure that fits. Yep, so that fits. I'm going to drop that onto a ratchet. I'm going to close up. I'm going to put the brake cleaner up here. I'm going to close up the drill bits for now. And then we are going to get our impact ratchet socket. Hey, Frank. All right, appreciate you. No problem. Turn down the brightness on this. You're welcome back anytime, sir. All right. Grab another shortbread. All right, so now we got it on the impact. We set this to loosen. This is currently on tighten. Oh, it came right off. Sweet. Slide this over. And I think actually, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put a ratchet right here just to hold it from falling. Yeah, so my son, he was driving this yesterday, and I explained in the first live stream video to this, that I actually went out and bought another car, because the motor on my Subaru blew. I took my spare wheels and tires off. Like, I had my Halloween set on, I'm not gonna over crank it, I just wanna have a little extra protection so it doesn't, like, if it does fall, like, it's you know, it's still good, you know? All right, Aussie, I appreciate you stopping by. Everybody, make sure you guys smash that like button. So I had some extra wheels and tires in here, did the swap, and then last night we were hauling the 2 last tires in the back of Big Eartha, and that's when I got the scent from the motors that they were cooked. So now I'm gonna put these to the side. There's a washer in here. Make sure that you put these top up. You do the same thing for the other side. Hopefully that comes out. This one got cover on the hub. Crap. And but yeah, yesterday my son and my lady, well, mostly my son, he was hauling a bunch of split firewood yesterday. So the truck, like, literally went through its paces yesterday. These axles, I do grease them with lithium grease. Here's the wiring for these. So we'll take those off in a second. I just want to get this wheel off. Can you hear that? So it's like, it's turning. So to mitigate that, I don't know where my flathead screwdriver is, and I don't know where my vice grips are. But let me see, regular pliers should suffice. Oh, I got a flathead right there. There we go. All right, so this is spinning. So what you can do, you can take this and wedge it so that it stops spinning, just so that you can take the tire off. So what I did to that side, everything I did to that side, I'm going to do to this side. There you go. Nut came off. And we're going to wiggle that out. Put that right there. All right, everybody, make sure you guys smash that like button, please. All right, cool. Axle's off. Axle. The nut is off. So now we take these out. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you guys can see. There we go. That's a little bit better. Pull up my sleeves. All right, so now we are going to disconnect these. These actually have waterproof wire nuts on them. Like official stuff. It could get a little messy. Let me get my rag. This shop floor gotta get cleaned again. It's all good. It's a shop, right, baby? Ow! All right, so waterproof wire nuts go there, and the new wiring, or like the aftermarket wiring, is all going to be done underneath the seat. And this brown and white wire runs to the trailer hitch to provide the pup trailer with power. Now, the reason why I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with this just yet, because the new motors that are going on here are gonna be 24 volts upgraded to a 36 volt system. Now, the other thing is that this is originally 12 volts upgraded to 18 volts. I normally run two 18 volt batteries in there for extra long power and longevity. The problem is that once I convert this into 24 volt to 36 volt upgraded, the power that's going to run to the trailer hitch is now going to be 36 volts, which is going to be triple the voltage on stock OEM motors on the pup trailer. So what I'm going to do is I will probably, since this truck is going to have so much power, I will probably take the motor, or maybe I'll leave the motors in the gearboxes on the pup trailer, but maybe I'll just take out a gear so that it can actually spin freely on the spindle, if that makes sense. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to apply fresh grease once we get the axles in here. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. So now this isn't coming out. The reason why is because there's a clip on the inside. I am going to actually move you guys from over here to over here, because all the work is now going to be over here. Bear with me a second. Turn that light off so that's not in your face. Oh, yeah. Give me one moment. Just trying to get the tripod in here for you guys. Sorry about that. Just working on this really quick. I just want to make sure that you guys can see both sides. Sweet. What's going on, Pat Anger? It is going pretty good. So far, so good. So far, so smooth. And this is for the right side, hopefully. All right, so for now, I'm gonna just trim that. Wipe it off, because I do save all my copper, or all my metal anyway. So for right now, I'm not gonna have any power going to the pup trailer. The wire will still be there, but what I'll do is I'll give these a quick twist before I cut them. As I explained earlier in the video, I'm not going to send any more power to the pup trailer until I if I do decide, which I think my son will outgrow it by then, to upgrade the pup trailer, from a 12 volt to 24 volt, and then this truck is going to get upgraded from 12 volt to 24 volt, and then 36 volt upgraded. So it's going to have two 24 volt motors, and then they're going to run off of 36 volts, which I am going to need my battery adapters, which I don't think this truck is going to be done today, in all honesty. But if my lady comes home early and she shows me where she put those battery adapters, we might be in business. So those wires are going to get tucked down in there. Headlamp on. Here are these wires. Just because I don't want grease all over my frickin' fingers. And these motors are cooked. So my son, he was hauling my spare tires last night. And yeah, when he was, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Just bear with me 1 second, everyone. There we go. Sorry. There we go. So hopefully you guys can see that. It's just because I don't have my really big tripod, so if it happens again, I'll just have to stand you up and put something on the bottom of that tripod. Alright, so this clips in. There's a metal sheet here. Just pop that out. And then this. There we go. So this is the old junk one. So now this has this bracket right here that has to mount up. So So I don't really throw any of this stuff away. It just gets reused for other purposes. So I'll put that on the floor for now. And the new motors, gearboxes. This is the heat sink. We're going to slide that off for now. Put that right there. And we are going to slide this like so. Slide that like so. And this goes over the top. Like wham, bam, no you won't, son. And we're gonna tighten this bad boy up. So this helps keep everything in line and order. Mise en place, which means everything in its place. I did do another live stream where I showed that we assembled the motors with the gearboxes and that we tightened up everything. Can you give me a second? I'll check the comments. Let me just get this installed. Wait a minute. Hold on. I just realized something. Wait a second. These are the gearboxes that it's supposed to go on, I think. Yep. So I installed all of that on the wrong gearboxes. So now you guys get to watch me do it all over again. That's all right. It's all for the live stream, baby. All right, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen quick. I'm gonna check the comments. Are you still driving trucks? I haven't showed up in a while. Yes, I am actually. All right, so if you're just tuning in, I was ready to install this motor, 775 motor with brand new gearbox, steel gear up top. The rest of them are plastic, just so that whatever mounts up to that mounts up to the main spur gear is metal on metal, and this hole size inside the gearbox does not fit in the center. So I gotta disassemble everything and install it on this new one. And I remember a few live streams ago, I was actually a little unsure. And then I was like, I'm pretty confident. But that confidence just went out the window. All right, so put that bracket together. It's all good. Trial and error, baby. You live and you learn, right? All right, so we're gonna uninstall the motor first. I want to make sure I don't drop it, so I don't damage it. And there we go. So motor, those screws right there, this right here. So before I take all the gears out, I'm going to pop this off, put that where it goes, and then we can continue to uninstall the screws, and then continue So I actually got this whole setup from ML Toys, and what I don't like about it is that these screws, like these gearboxes, don't come with replacement screws, so you have to provide your own screws. And when I messaged them about it, they said, yeah, no, these are replacement gearboxes, so we assume that you have your own screws. So now we're going to take this off, and then we're going to assemble it the way that we found it. So metal gear goes up top. Whoa, the bearing fell out. All right, so now we are done with this. We're gonna put this to the side. Here's the other replacement one. All right, so here's the small bearing that goes right there. So that's good. Oh, keep knocking it out. All right. So that's the small bearing that goes right there. This goes there. This goes here. And this goes here. That locks in. So yeah, when I messaged ML Toys and I told them, hey, it didn't come with screws, they said, yeah, we assumed that you already had the screws. And I was like, oh, that's not good. All right, let me find my... stay there. Relax. Relax. Oh, here it is. So, I actually have a tube of lithium grease. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on that just because, ow, that sucked. Because I actually took a little bit off. And once I put this on, I don't plan on redoing it. And I think I actually got this on clearance or something. A little dab there. A little dab right in there. Yeah, so I'm hoping this is like the end all be all kind of thing. Give it a quick little spin. Yeah, so I said, that kind of sucks that you guys don't provide, this stuff looks good enough to eat. I don't know, I ain't even gonna lie. So it kind of sucks that you guys don't provide, extra screws, but they're like, no, it's a replacement. And I was like, dude, even if you upcharge like, 50 cents a screw, send me the dang screws. All right. Oh, I got paper towel here. Sweet Caroline. So I'll wipe my strawberry jelly on my paper towels. All right. Now, time for reassembly. So that goes there, nice and snug. But before I do that, this is the old gearbox. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow one of the screws from here because ML Toys doesn't send extra screws to go with brand new gearboxes. I don't know. Can't even make that up. All right, so let's go ahead and put these screws in. One there. And we're going to crisscross them. One there. One here. One here. And let me put the cover back on my jelly. want to make sure that they're nice and snug. All right. Okay, so now this is the adapter for the motor. This is going to snap on like that. Put that face down for a second. And get our blue lock thread. And these are the screws that were in it. We're just going to put a little bit more on because we don't want the screws to back out while my son is driving. It already had some on there, but the last thing I want to do is deal with that. Alright, so there we go. So now we actually got to line it up on the inside. Let me just make sure. There we go. So there are multiple holes in here, and then there's only 2 holes that's acceptable where the screws go. So now I'm gonna get it in there. And I'm going to line it up like so. Drop those in. And we are going to slowly screw those in. New motors, new gearbox. This slides on like so. This slides over this. This retainer, which is what holds everything in place. Fits nice and snug. Has a bug right there. Okay. And this goes right here. Okay, now we got the new motors, new gearbox, new gears. This is the 775 motor. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Compared to the old one. This is the old one. This is the new one. That size comparison, it's pretty magnificent. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna come around and check the comments. All right, smash that like. Anyone who hasn't, yes. The other one I've had. Not even sure. Gotta love doing DIY. We all back, yes, ma'am. So on the old motors, it is so to answer your question as to how fast it goes. On the old motors, which are 12-volt motors with, come on, baby. There we go. Hang on, I'm trying to get this to snap in. With the old motors, I don't have an exact speed, but with the old motors, on first gear, you have to jog to keep up with it. On second gear, there we go. So that one snapped in. There we go. Come on. So, yeah, so, dang. I'm trying to get this to snap in because this is what holds all that torque down. If I have my vice grips. I don't have my small. So with the old motors on first gear, you got to jog to keep up with it. With the new motor, on second gear, you have to like full blown out sprint with it. Sprint, not a sponsor. Got some raspberry jelly on me. There we go. So I don't even know what the speed would be with the new motors, but this is pretty important that I get these clips right here. See, I got one, and then that bottom one, so hard to get in. Grab my little crowbar, and I might need a block of wood and a shortbread cookie. Nope. There we go. Alright, I can't get it over the clips, but it is what it is. So now, heat sink, clips on, right there. Try to have it in the 12 o'clock position. See, if I don't have that clip on there, it might enter it might not go. My flathead screwdriver. Oh man. It's like right there. Yeah, I don't think I could get that. So this heat sink goes right there on top. Get it in 12 o'clock position. This right here. Wire strippers. Gotta snip off these wires. Got a little bit of jelly in my fingers. And the reason why we gotta snip off these wires is because we need these nice and bare. Okay. So now that we got that on, these wires right here actually have to get stripped. Okay. So now we're going to take these and then we're going to install a quick adapt tool, which is provided. Let me see. So I assume blue. That's right. We'll test it out. We'll see what we come up with. I am actually going to shorten this wire just a wee bit. You guys hear that wind? That's wild. So I'm going to connect the black to orange for now. And I'll just get some regular wiring nuts. This is just temporary. Do black to orange for now. Then we'll do red to blue. Past that, right there. And shorten the blue one just a little bit. I got grease on my fingers. So yeah, my son, he was hauling the tires that were on the Subaru that I just bought, which are no good, that got to get replaced. He was hauling those, and I smelt the motors cooking. This wire, I'm gonna put it down here just so I don't confuse myself. Now this wire, that is gonna go to the accessory, which I got some bell wire here. That might be too short. Yeah, I could probably just save this for the LEDs. So this, I'll show you guys what that's going to look like. So this is gonna go here. Of course, I haven't done any testing yet, so just bear with me. I gotta see if I got some blue ones down in there, but we will see what it looks like. Got the LED, the cob LED light strip here. Let's go ahead and strip off this main wire. So now we got positive and negative. I don't really like these wires because they're actually really, really thin, but just for testing purposes, I can just hook them up. All right. So we got positive and negative. Can't even hook that up to that. Not yet, at least. So, I don't know if you guys remember this. This is a potentiometer. This actually controls 12 volt. This actually downgrades 12 volt DC direct current to like a wide range of voltages, but it only downgrades, does not upgrade. Now I gotta see if I got a small enough screwdriver to fit it. Oh yeah, we are in business, Frank. All right, so now it says power, and then, so input, output. So input would be, I'll just grab this extra battery for now. I know I still got to do the motor and gear upgrades on the other side. I just want to demonstrate my idea for this. So this is the auxiliary wire right here, and this is for my son's truck's accessories, horn, lights, etc. Which I got a backup battery I haven't even installed yet. All right, so this converts 18 volts down to 12 volts, and it has a power switch on it. So right now it should be live, battery's full, and all right, so these are the LED strips I plan on using. Maybe I could like tuck it right here. Yeah, maybe like tuck it right there. Maybe put a zip tie on it. That actually might work. Let me see. Ooh, I didn't want those to touch. These wires are still brand new. We're still getting to know each other, you dig? All right, cool. So this is gonna go here. That's gonna go here. And then that actually might work. Or I'll see if I have some double-sided tape, which I think I do have in the white Subaru. So I'll have to go get that, but just wanted to demonstrate that for you guys really quick. But also, as far as like the potentiometer, what's gonna have to happen is instead of me cutting this, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna have to cut it just a little bit, but I'm gonna retwist it, and then I'm gonna put a quick disconnect on it, because these wires are only so long. Learn from your previous mistakes early, people. Right. Direct from ML Toys, we got this quick disconnect there. I'll put that in the bin. That goes there. I'm gonna take a little bit off of that. Retwist it one more time. Make sure all the wires are nice and tight. I'm gonna put one side in one side in the other. Now, anything that you put in here will run 12 volts. So, what I figure is that extra bell wire or whatever I have. So the whole point of the LED is just to show people, you know, the new 775 motors with the fan and heatsink upgrade. So we can take some of this. Again, this is demonstration purposes only. I don't know if I'm going to use this exact wire. So I'm going to strip off some of that. Then I will clip some of this. Put the extra bell wire over there. Untwine this. And I have plenty more wire where this came from. That goes there. This is just testing because I want to see if that potentiometer is going to be able to control this motor. And in order to do that, what I have to do is I'm running this bell wire with this positive and negative. I should probably put some electrical tape on it, but I don't, like, I know where I have some, I just have to like dig it out. But that's right, we'll just keep it separate for now. Oh, here it is. Found just a wee bit more. Alright, so just for, again, testing purposes, we're going to fold this over. We're going to fold this wire over. Then we're just going to do a quick little wrap on that. And then a quick little wrap on that, just so that it doesn't make contact with anything else. Pull that tight. There we go. So now I got positive and negative all wrapped up right there. This side, we're going to untwist this. And I will check the comments here in a second. Going to straighten out those wires. I'm going to take the insulation off of the wires. I'm going to give those wires a nice little twist. I actually like how this bell wire looks. Alright, so this motor only requires 5 volts of power. This output, this is 18 volts, this makes it 12, and then we got another potentiometer. Well, we have a potentiometer which reduces the amount of voltage. So now we're going to do power input, which is negative. We're going to put that one up top. First, I'm going to bend these wires just a little bit, just so that it's more meat, you know, more, not more meat, more wire for the potentiometer to hold on to. We're going to stick that in there and find my little screwdriver bit. And we're gonna tighten that down. And we're gonna make sure that's nice and snug. Snug as a bug. Oh, relax. My dog wants to play. Alright, so now we got positive and negative in. I'm just gonna crank down the input for the positive. Give those a quick little pull. Hold on. Oh, actually, dang, why ain't nobody telling me? This is actually supposed to be the output side, not the input side. Input would be power. Sorry, I thought I already had the wire in there. Silly me. All right, let's do that again. All right, so motor, it just says motor. It's, I guess it is Ford motor, fan motor. All right, so negative there, positive here. Gotta loosen that one. All right, straighten out that wire, put this wire in. All right, so now motor or output positive is white, motor negative is black. Relax. All right, so now that goes there. These are the other wires that I'm going to use for the output, and hopefully it's able to handle the current. While I'm twisting this up, let me come over around, check the comments. Oh yeah, Jay is with me. Yeah, Jay had to do poo poo, so I walked him before I came live. Dog mystery is figured out. Yep, he's hanging out being a crybaby. That's what he's doing. All right, so now we're gonna bend these wires, and now this is going to be the input side. So power plus and power negative. Okay, so at least on this side, so the two positives go next to each other. So power input positive is on the middle part. So let me just tighten these up and I'll show you what I mean. Nice and snug, nice and snug, nice and snug, nice and snug, just for testing purposes. All right, so now, so this is the input, this is the output. So input here, which is what we're going to connect to here, and yellow, we're going to assume that's positive. And hey babe, would you mind coming to get Jay from the shed, please? He's crying, he wants to play. So we're gonna stick that in the quick connect, stick this in the quick connect, and then we're gonna see if we got power. A little LED should come on. And we got juice. Look at that. Fan's working. and we could crank it up. If the motor gets hot, then we can turn it down. So now, what I would do, now again, testing purposes, right? So now we're gonna find the input, which is power, right here, which is the top two, black and white. We're gonna loosen this, and this is a little cheat code for you guys. This is how I wired my Subaru for the extra lights that I got on the roof basket. So anytime my LED light bar comes on, that is what used to give my basket lights power. So if my LED light bar was not on, I'm actually going to flip this power switch just so that we don't have that issue again. And oh, before you come to the shed, if you can go into the white Subaru and grab my backseat passenger floor, there should be some 3M sticky tape. All right, so yeah, I'm probably gonna end up changing the wire on this because it's really cheap. It's really flimsy. All right, so now we take the 12 volt, because we only need the potentiometer for to control the fans. That's it. That's the only reason why. The potentiometer controls the fans. So whenever my son flips the switch to get juice from this power inverter, when he flips it on, it will activate the LEDs and it will activate the fans at the same time. So now we're going to take the LEDs, the LED wires, again, the cheap wires, just for testing purposes. We're going to take those and put them, we're going to wrap them around each other, because once my son flips the switch to activate the cooling fans on his truck, the lights will come on, and so the lights will borrow power from the input on the potentiometer. So we're going to have two LEDs, one on either side, or a minimum of two LEDs, one on either side. So there we go. There we go. We got positive and negative. Hopefully that'll be good. All right. So I remember the white ones were close together. The positives were close. And the negatives were there. Now let me grab my screwdriver. We're gonna crank that down, because sometimes you gotta like just do a full mock, like a full trial kind of thing. So now we have negative, positive input, positive, negative output. So we got power to the LED, which we'll pretend this switch was for the auxiliary power, which is also going to power the LED. And on comes the fan. And then I'll set the control speed to right about there so I don't burn out the fan motors. But I've always put this in a more accessible place. So just in case it got to the point where the motors were running hot, maybe we were doing some adventures, we were doing some heavy hauling, something, we were doing something to that effect, it wouldn't be an issue. So this, we could put it like right, maybe like right here, something. Put that wire there. Put that wire here. And besides all the dust and debris and dirt in there, that setup looks pretty clean. So again, if I ever needed to add more juice to the fan, I give it a little twist and it's all good to go. So we're going to turn this off. We're going to disconnect all that wiring right now. Not all the wiring, but just from this. We're going to turn this off. We'll put this to the side. We know we got juice. We know we got power. We will leave this quick connect on here. And I will leave all of this connected for now, just so that you guys know that it happened. You know, come check the comments. All right, Pat, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. No problem. All right, so now let's work on the second motor, second gearbox, second confusion. All right, let me just make sure that you guys can see. On that side. All right, here we go. So this is the new gearbox. The other gearbox is here. I guess before we start working, let's go ahead and do our preemptive measures, which are stripping that off, positive and negative, this already has some insulation removed, or at least cut, not removed. And what we'll do is we will cut the insulation a little farther, give it a nice little tug. Cut this insulation a little farther. Give that a nice little tug. Then what we're going to do is we're going to remove the fan from this. It just simply pulls off. Put that fan here. Now we got to take everything off of here, put it on here before we remove that. So let's go ahead and do this. And I am going to get my paper towel, wherever that may be. I don't know where it went. Anybody see my paper towel? I don't have the slightest idea where the heck it went. Oh, there it is. Paper towel with the strawberry jam on it. Alright. A tube of jam, jelly, strawberry jelly. Oh, what you make? Pizza?
Yeah, I want to pick out a little sweet.
Thank you. What happened, my pup? Oh, thank you. What's that? Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks.
Come on, Jay. Come on.
All right. It's lunchtime, baby. Oh, hot. Ooh. Well, that pizza's pretty good. Thanks, babe. All right, so green rag, we're gonna slide that over the axle because I do grease the axles to help the wheels slide better. All right, so here we go. And let me get my Loctite real quick. Loctite is here. So now, everything we did to that side, we gotta do to this side. And loosen the screws. All right. So now let's take these screws out. And I will put these screws right there. Seems like a pretty legit place to put them. All right, now we're taking the screws out of the motor. Here's the motor. Put that right there. Dump out these motor mount screws. Whoa! Oh no. Man. Alright, let me grab these screws and go put them on the other side. I gotta locate that motor mount screw because it fell and I heard it fall. Oh, right here. Goodness gracious. Gave me a panic attack because if I lose that screw, it's all over, Frank. Alright, so pop off this adapter. And then I'm going to put those screws right there. And then we are going to open up the receiving end of the gearbox. Okay, I will put this here. Just so that you guys can see that. And I'm going to open up this one. And then we got to assemble it in reverse. So now that goes there. There we go. Slide that all the way down. This one locks in there. This one locks in there. And this one locks in right there. This one I didn't take as much grease off, so I'll just do a little bit of strawberry jelly. That should be enough. I don't want to overdo it. Okay, that goes there. Now time for reassembly. I'm gonna put this cover on. And let's go ahead and grab our small screws. Should be a total of 4. There's 1. Two. Oh, that came off because I had some grease on my finger. Can't even make that up. There's 2. And I'll put the third one down there, and then we'll tighten them up a little bit. That goes there. That goes there. Third one, put here. And then we'll go get that 4th one, which right there. And the 4th one goes here. Make sure that they're all nice and snug. Without stripping them, of course. So now that that's assembled, let me go ahead and get this strawberry jelly out the way. Put that to the side. Grab a pizza. Sweet. So now I'll put that drill there. Now we flip this over. And we line up the adapter with the holes. We line up the adapters with the holes right there. And we take the motor and you look for the holes right there, top and bottom at the 12 and the 6. And it's going to go in the 1 o'clock position. You just got to make sure that your main gear lines up with it. There you go. Before I do anything else, lock thread locker. Always, always, always use a thread locker. I don't care how thorough you think you are. Nothing beats a mechanical breakdown when it could have been avoided had you would have just used the proper stuff. Alright, give that a little twist. And right there. Alright. I'm not going too hard on that. And then this screw right here. Again, thread locker. That drops in right there. And now before I snug it up, I'm going to put the cap on this thread locker. I don't want it to leak out. I'm gonna go put that back on this side, and I'm gonna torque those screws. Alright, so now this is all assembled. Here is the heat sink with the fan. Grab my flathead screwdriver. And before I take this out, we gotta disconnect the wires. Put my flathead right there. So now, gotta trace the wires that go to the tow hitch. Again, we're going to wipe the grease off. I do recycled metal. And I'll probably just go wash that rag when I'm done. So we're just gonna give that a twist. Even though that didn't take most of the grease off, but sure did help. It had some huge globs of grease on there. You'll be surprised how fast all this scrap adds up. Alright, so that's done. So now we're going to come over here, pull these wires. These wires are for the old motor. We're going to clean off the grease from these wires. Put the rag back on the axle. Yeah, see this metal plate? It goes around the engine. Oh, there we go. Flathead screwdriver. I said the engine, the motor. Oh, come on. What's the big idea, Frank? Alright. You know what? I'll get my drill, take that bracket off. At least the front part of it, the front face. Alright, here we go. So now, knock that dirt off. Gearbox should slide right out with the motor. This is the old motor with the old gearbox. Let it toss right there. Slide that in. The wires in. Let me just see something real quick. Let me slide this out, because I want to check something. If I could get this metal bracket to pop in, I'll take that motor out, take this rag, put that over there. This so I don't damage anything, and I'm just trying to get this to pop back in. Clean all that stuff up. Some spider eggs in there. Clean that out. Screwdriver there. There we go. Got it. All right. So now that I know it could be done, because that metal plate is everything. So that's going to hold the motor in place under load. Negative, positive. There we go. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap that bracket, put this back on, and I'm going to go take off the other one. Because I want that to sit inside that cradle. Check the camera. Make sure you guys can see everything that I'm doing. All right. See you soon, Ashley. Appreciate you stopping by. All right. So I got that bracket off. I'm going to take this heat sink off. Take all of this extracurricular wiring. I'm going to slide this motor out just a little bit, just so that I can get this bracket to pop in. There we go. Nice and easy. There we go. All right. Before I put the heatsink back on, I'm going to put this holder, gearbox holder in place. we go. Make sure that goes there. Alright, that's nice and snug. Heat sink can go back on. 12 o'clock position. Alright. Sweet. Alright. So now, I think I'll just use some simple wire nuts. Maybe not the waterproof ones anymore, because those made a mess. And besides, we don't really drive this thing in the rain, so. Alright, so it looks like we got a bit of a dilemma. Let me make sure you guys can see. Alright, so I know it looks like a lot is going on. Just bear with me. I don't know where my extra wire is. Like I have some wire, but let's see. Yeah, I have some extra wire, but let me see if I can do a quick disconnect in here. Just gotta find my wires, cutters. See, I don't want to use this one. I want to use the wire, but not that one specifically. I don't know what happened to my other wire. I had extra wire here. I don't know. I think I found some. Oops, that's not it. I had a whole bag of it. Looks like I'll just have to use that wire for now. Just want a quick disconnect to it. And we will call it maybe. All right. So it looks like we've been live for an hour and 45. We'll call it at the 2-hour mark. I'll start another live as I button up all of this back here. All right, so I got my wire nuts. 1, 2. I got my quick disconnect. Open up all sides. I'm gonna pull these wires, retwist them so that they're nice and good. And we will use green for positive and brown for negative. And then we will use green twist these wires right here. For positive, yellow for negative. Now this isn't permanent, it's just for right now because I don't really know which direction that's gonna send it. So cut that. Cut that. And I said green for positive, yellow for negative, to blue. Alright, quick disconnect is plugged in. Cut those off, put that there. Oh, I forgot to close up this gearbox. This gearbox might actually come in handy later for something. I just don't know what yet, but we will see. So that goes there. I could technically use another quick disconnect here, but that's all right. I already got the wire nuts. Take that insulation off. That insulation off. And then we are going to do one wire nut. So we're going to do brown for negative. And we're going to run these wires through here. Okay, we're going to run brown for negative. Give that a quick twist. Wire nut on. Make sure it's on all the way. And green for positive. Give these wires a quick twist. There we go. Now, if you have a lot of wires sticking out from underneath your wire nut, you can always trim them, but in this case, I don't really, but this one, I do have a little, so I'm probably gonna just trim that up real quick. Alright, wire nuts are on, nice and snug, nice and snug. These wires, we go there. Still got to strip the wires for the fan motor or the heat sink. So we're going to tuck those wires down. There we go. Down and behind. Heat sink is going to go in the 12 o'clock position. All right. So now, what I'm going to do is grab a napkin, put some brake cleaner on it. Safety goggles. So now I'm going to clean the undercarriage of this support bar. I'm going to put the napkin here. Put that there just so I can wipe it clean. Do the same thing for the other side. Check the comments real quick. All right, cool. Give it a good shake. I'm gonna put the napkin here to protect our investment. Okay. I'll try that again because it doesn't really look like anything came out. There we go. I know stuff came out in that time. Sheesh. There we go. Wipe that clean. That one goes in the trash. Alright. So now we got some double-sided tape, which I'm gonna go scrub down before I apply that. So let me go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, I did find a different color bell wire that I could use to run through there, and then we will figure out how we're gonna run all the electronics. And I think I might actually use the black and white wire to connect to the LED. We'll probably start prepping my soldering iron, which I have here, and start to get that warmed up. And we are probably going to resolder that wire on there. So yeah, let me go ahead and move this over here. And yeah, I will plug this in. Get that soldering iron nice and hot, so when we come back, we will resolder the lights, because I don't want those lights to be connected to that like that, if that makes sense. So all right, so in the meantime, motor is hooked up, the fan is there. What we have to do now is undo this potentiometer of all connections. I want to do all connections because I don't want to confuse myself with anything. And besides, I still got wires to run from the power switch that I still have to test. All right. So pull all these wires out. Black and white is going to the fan right now temporarily. This black and white is on here temporarily. Potentiometer is off. That black and white wire is going there. And this LED light strip is going to go there. And we are going to disconnect these wires for now, because what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to join these two in the middle and then run another connection right here to go up to the main box. So we'll be back in about 20 minutes. We'll be back. So until then, make sure you guys smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.